Welcome back, everybody. It is matchup preview time, and as you can see, I went and wrong way there. Voted today, and we're gonna do some voting here. If you guys want to share your responses in the chat, go for it. Uh, but the first matchup here, the Fighting Swansons versus the Patriarch, and I mean Senior, he beats me in the regular season on occasion. He never beats me in the postseason. Uh, but that being said, most of the time I dominate pretty thoroughly. We're going to go with my bold prediction on Senior's side of things. I think James Conner goes for a buck 40 and 2 touchdowns, proving that Kevin is once again just not very good at this. Heading into a super easy matchup with Miami. Kevin's now left with only 3 running backs, one of which is his handcuff for one of his starters. I don't know what you were thinking there, man. Garrett Wilson's the number 4 option on that team behind Brees, Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard. Okay. So, if we didn't know these two better, and we didn't know that they didn't know each other beforehand, we would probably call this collusion. Absolutely terrible trade for Kevin. It made 0 sense. He desperately needs running back help, not wide receiver help. I guess props to Senior for taking advantage of a rube. Looking at the rest of the matchups, A.J. Brown's going to smash. Doesn't matter. I have Jalen Hurts. Jaden Reed still a little limited. We'll see how that plays out. I do think Tank Dell breaks out. He did very well against the Colts last year. He'll probably do pretty well here. Buffalo D without DK. I expect DK to sit. I expect the Buffalo D to do very well. On my side of things, so Senior's going to score a lot of points. There's no doubt about that. He's definitely going to put up a lot of points. I tend to get everybody's best shot, and that's fine. I'm going to be the highest scoring team of the week. That's my bold prediction on my side for 2 weeks in a row. We're looking at Justin Jefferson tonight, absolutely smashing the Rams. He's going to put up at least 100 yards, probably get in the end zone. Big game for Jettis. Kyron Williams, he's going to get in the end zone. Gets in the end zone every game. It's not pretty, but he scores, so he'll get in the end zone tonight. Still not 100% sure if I'm starting Ferguson or Mark Andrews. If you need a tight end, come hit me up, guys. I hate carrying 2 tight ends. I won't be as brutal as you think on the trade. Now, I look at DJ Moore. Oh, man. So last year, I don't know if you guys remember the Washington game, but I do off the top of my head because I'm a Bears fan. 8 catches, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns. He actually had a 4th touchdown he should have had, but when they blew a play dead with him running on the sideline saying he stepped out of bounds. Replay showed he didn't step out of bounds. But I guess once they blow it dead, that's it. But in any event, put your votes in the chat. Who's going to win, the Fighting Swansons or the Patriarch? I'm voting Fighting Swansons today. And then we're heading to Comrade Kamala versus Lamb of Godwin. And this is another good matchup. Tony getting CeeDee Lamb. I expect CeeDee Lamb to do very well in the back half of the year. He sucked last year, the first half, and then was awesome in the back half. Really interesting with Cooper Kupp coming back tonight. We'll see what kind of workload he handles. If he's back to 100%, that should be a boost for the entire Rams squad. That being said, I'm a little worried that they're going to trade Cooper Kupp to the Steelers, where he would be relegated to like wide receiver 3 flex territory. Probably should have taken DJ Moore and Caleb Williams when you had the chance. That was a Joe level rejection. And that's what, by the way, a Joe level rejection is just something that's just a no-brainer to click accept, and you click reject anyway. It doesn't happen very often. Most people, when they get an absolute gift of an offer, just click accept. Tony usually does too, not in this instance. Terrible rejection, bad decision, and it's going to haunt him the rest of the year. Still nowhere near as bad as Joe declining Joe Mixon for Jordan Mason. That was the dumbest rejection of the season. And we're going to continue to talk about that every week because Joe needs to remember. Now, Bijan Robinson going up against the Tampa Bay Bucks, who just got annihilated by Derrick Henry, but Bijan Robinson is no Derrick Henry. I expect a decent game, not great. My bold prediction for Tony, though, Trey McBride's getting in the mother-loving end zone this week. First time this year, he's catching a touchdown. Book it. It's going to happen. Get him in your anytime TD bets, guys, because it's going to happen. Now, gutsy play playing Rome Odunze. Really gutsy, but, maybe he's got the potential. He could pop off. We look over at Jason's team. Man, it looks like Marvin Harrison Jr. just sucks. I don't know what to tell you guys. The guy's a bum. Marvin Harrison Jr., terrible at football. Jason should just cut him. I'll probably do you a favor and send you like some piece of trash for him just because I feel bad. I can send you a quarterback. I got Kyler Murray, who is way better than that bum Joe Burrow. So, speaking of that bum Joe Burrow, he's locked into a shootout with the Eagles this week. He should have a smash week. Bold prediction for Jason's team, though. I got to go Derrick Henry under 10 fantasy points for the first time this season. The Cleveland Browns play the Ravens tough. It's going to be an ugly, gritty, low-scoring game, a true AFC North battle, and Derrick Henry at the end will finish with like 99 yards. It's going to be right on the precipice of 10, but not quite. So who am I voting for here? Who am I casting my ballot for? I'm going to cast my ballot here. I can't say it, Jason. Sorry. So I'm going to say Lamb of Godwin. Tony gets the vote just because of Jason's team name. Now, big ass TDs, aka Dummy Kevin, versus No Diddy, aka Bald Bastard Paul. All right, you bald bastard and you dummy. You're going at it this week. Ricky Pearsall, that's an interesting start. Big Kev's dealing with a lot of injuries, and that sucks. I got to applaud the nuts on Kevin rolling out Russell Wilson, though. That is an absolutely ballsy play. I love it, though, man. That's your guy. Throw him out there. He should do pretty well, too, Monday night at home against the Giants. Now, Courtland Sutton, he should have a showcase game because they might be trying to trade him. We will see, though. I don't think he's a part of Denver's future, but Denver keeps winning games, so maybe they won't trade him. There's been some talk about Courtland Sutton to the Niners, but, if they keep winning, probably not. Tony Pollard, nightmare matchup. B-Rob, nightmare matchup. Zach Ertz, not playable. He should cut him and pick up Dalton Kincaid. Kincaid's going to do well this week against the Seahawks. Just sitting there in free agency, Kev. Come on, put a little bit of effort in. Now, I look over at Paul here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to do a bold prediction. Bold prediction, Kevin has the lowest score at running back in the entire league for the rest of the fucking season. There it is. Now, Paul, Davante Adams is going to smash this week, but it's too obvious. I can't do him for my bold prediction. So I'm going to bold predict Devonta Smith bounce back week, 90 yards and a score, Devonta Smith. I don't think Bucky Irving's going to play, so you're going to have to figure something out there, buddy. I don't know what you're going to do, but you'll have to figure it out. Now, Kareem Hunt should smash the Vegas Raiders. Kelsey might actually get in the end zone this week, but maybe not because they just traded for D-Hop. I actually feel a little bad about my Kelsey, trade rape of Paul because we didn't know they were going to trade for D-Hop. Now that they have D-Hop, Kelsey's, maybe he's playable, maybe he's not. I will say this. If Jameson Williams isn't playing, I'd plug in Sam Laporta for Travis Kelce. So who's getting the vote? I'm voting for Paul. Paul's getting this dub. He's going to get it easily. Kevin has mismanaged his team into being a bottom feeder. And Kevin's just on an absolute collision course for the GD here. Now, speaking of the GD, we have Worthy of Our Trust Trey versus Cursed by the Old Gods Jared. And real quick, let's go over Trey's team. The positive, DeAndre Swift and Ken Bone Walker should dominate this week. Both easy matchups, should both be heavily involved. They're both going to do well. Love Drake London against the Bucks. And George Pickens looks like he's been unlocked with Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson. So, bold prediction time. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts is the tight end 1 on the week. Big week for Kyle Pitts against the Bucks. Now, I look over at Jared's team. Love me some Brock Bowers. T. Higgins has been phenomenal. He gets Tua back for his Miami weapons. So, bold prediction. Pretty tough to not go with Tyreek Mother effing Hill. Tyreek Hill's going to go over 150 yards, multiple touchdowns in a smash game. And this one's easy. Vote Jared. Jared gets the win. Now, Gorlock the Destroyer versus Finding Debo. Really think that Keenan Allen's going to have a good week for Washington. I hate Baker Mayfield this week. I don't like it at all. But there's not really any better streamers. Maybe you could go out there and trade for a stud like Kyler Murray, but you'd have to give me something pretty good to get Kyler Murray. Oh, look at that, Puka Nacua. He is going to play, so we'll see how that goes. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs broke out last week. He might be able to keep that going. He might not. Dan Campbell is an asshole, so who knows? Now, Jordan Mason, this is his last chance before McCaffrey comes back to showcase why he should have a role, and I think he does just that. So, bold prediction, Jordan Mason is a top 5 fantasy running back this week. Smashes the Dallas Cowboys. Speaking of smashing, they only have the Denver D projected at 8.33 against Bryce Young. That's not high enough, guys. The Denver D is putting up a 20 spot. Now, I look over at Steve's team. Josh Allen has not been, the super stud that we're used to. But that being said, I think he has a great game this week against the Sea Chickens. Who's not going to have a great game? Malik Neighbors. He's going to have another downy against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night because they just are not going to have time for him to run routes. The Steelers are going to probably get 7+ sacks in that game. So look for another bad week for Malik Neighbors. But who's going to have a good week? J.K. Dobbins bounces back this week at home against New Orleans. Big game. But my bold predictions got to be Malik Neighbors. Less than 8 fantasy points in that game. So who's going to get the vote? I am voting for Joe. Finding Debo. He gets the win. There you go, guys. That is the end of our matchup previews. And I will see you for the recaps on Tuesday after I destroy Senior. Goodbye.